Hi, Christy. How are you doing?
I'm good, Sonia. How are you?
I'm good. I thought it would be good to talk a little bit and create a short video for students who have questions about our graduate degrees at the College of Business. So I put together some questions that I think are fairly typical, and hopefully we can answer those in a few minutes. And obviously, for follow-up questions, you can always ask us. So let's go see if we can. Here we go. Introduce ourselves first.
Yep, so I'll start. My name is Christy Chomp. So I am the graduate programs coordinator in the College of Business. I deal mostly with our MBA program and our online executive MBA program, but I do also offer support to all the other graduate programs in the College of Business, including the MAC program, which we will talk a little bit about today.
Yes, and I'm Sonia Pippin. I'm a professor in the accounting department, and I'm also the director of both of our MAC programs, the live and the online program. And I figure you get a lot of these questions that deal with our graduate programs, since the MBA program is kind of the big one, the flagship. So let's go ahead and talk about some of those that you normally hear.
So can you tell us what the difference is between our two Master of Accountancy programs?
Yes. So first of all, the Master of Accountancy programs are one of our specialty graduate programs, not the traditional MBA program that most people know. It focuses on accounting and the graduate level accounting. The live program is on campus. It's a traditional graduate program. It's a little bit more flexible, so it's not as structured, because with the live program, you can kind of have students scheduled the way they want more easily. The online program is really just online. It's asynchronously taught, and it has 3 terms a year, so not just the fall and the spring, but also fall, spring, and summer. And it's more structured because for an online program, you not kind of need that cohort system where people stay together with the same people throughout the program. Those are kind of the main differences. So the online program is for those who can't really come to campus, who need more flexibility, so they can't just be at a certain place at a certain time. So it's asynchronous, which means you can kind of do your work when you have time for it. You don't have to be there, even there's no like Zoom lectures or anything like that either. So it's very flexible. So if you're already a working professional, but you want to get an additional graduate degree, maybe to get your CPA exam, something like that, that program is for you. If you're more like, yeah, I need that check-in every week, I need to be able to see my professors and my other students, like my other students, I need to actually see them face to face in person, that additional program is more for you.
So this is a question I get a lot, when students are trying to decide between either getting an MBA with an accounting emphasis or just the Master of Accountancy. So can you tell us the difference between those and maybe some of the benefits of either one?
Yes. So I'm sure you agree with me that the MBA, our traditional MBA program, is more of a generalist type program. So you have all kinds of business disciplines and a lot of like finance, management, marketing, accounting, information systems, all of them, and economics. The Master of Accountancy degree it's just about accounting. We have a couple classes that are outside of accounting, but it's basically much more technical, much more focused on the accounting knowledge that you need to get ahead in your career in an accounting field. So a lot of people take that because they want to sit for the CPA exam. And I got to tell you, if you want to sit for the CPA exam and you don't have an undergraduate degree in accounting, the MBA with the accounting emphasis is actually not going to be enough. It doesn't give you all the education background that you need to sit for the CPA exam or to be licensed as CPA. But if you are already have a business undergrad degree, maybe with some accounting classes in there already, then maybe the MBA with accounting emphasis actually does get you there. So it kind of depends on where you're coming from. If you're not interested in sitting for a CPA exam, if that's not what you want, you just want a little bit more accounting because you happen to like accounting, just like I do, then the MBA with the accounting emphasis might be perfect for you. That might be exactly what you need. So it really depends on where you're coming from and where you want to go.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that, that the MBA is much more of a general program, gives you a wide overview of a lot of different topics. So definitely agree with you on that. Okay, so let's move on to the application and admissions. So could you tell us a little bit about what's required for the online MAC and then the live MAC in terms of the application?
Yes, that's probably a question I get more than you do. I don't know for sure, but I get those questions a lot. And obviously there's a lot of nuances there. So if you need more information, definitely check out the websites that we're going to put at the end, or just email either one of us, and we're happy to help or schedule even a meeting online or in person. So the application process is very similar for both of those programs. But for the live program right now, we still require a GMAT unless you have a undergraduate degree in accounting and a 3.3 cumulative GPA. For the online program, we don't require a GMAT. We just require some work experience because that's kind of the population that we normally draw from. I already mentioned that the program schedule for the online program is more structured. So it's designed to take 2 classes each term. And you either have 10 or 12 classes. So if you are coming in without a degree in accounting, you have 12 classes. If you come in with a degree in accounting, you have 10 classes. So it's either 5 or 6 terms. So 2 years or a little bit less than 2 years. And then again, for the live program, it depends. We are more flexible there. Some people take 5 classes a semester, which I think is a little bit crazy. And some people just take 1 class a semester. And anything in between. You see everything. You can kind of get done within a year if you really want to, or you can take 2.5, 3, 4 years to get done. As far as the cost goes, for the live program, there's in-state and out-state tuition, so it totally depends on where you're coming from. I recommend that you check out the website. There is a tab for tuition. You can kind of put in if you're in-state, out-of-state, what the fees would be, those kind of things. For the online program, it's actually a little bit easier because it's just a per credit cost. So for the accounting class, it's $7.50 per credit. And obviously 3 credits per class. So if you have 10 classes, then it would be 30 credits. If it's 12 classes, 36 credits. There are 2 classes that are outside of our department. Those are in the information systems department. They're a little bit more expensive. But it's obvious it's either 25 or 29,000 for the whole program, depending on where you're coming in, either background or core track. So if you need 10 classes, it's about 25,000. If you need 12 classes, about 29,000. And as far as the schedule goes, as I said, it's more structured. But for both programs, you can start at any time. So you don't have to start in the fall. You can start in the spring, or you can start in the summer.
Okay, so yeah, time to talk about some recent changes in your coursework schedule, and then maybe you could touch on just on average how long it takes students to complete each program.
Yeah, very good question. So we just changed our online program, and that's something I want to mention first, because we used to ask students who didn't have an undergraduate degree in accounting to take 6 background classes, and now it's only 2. So that cuts down a lot, which means you can get done in 2 years. So if you take the 2 classes each term, which is what we want you to do, that's what it's scheduled to be like, you're done in 2 years. And for the live program, we still require those 6 background classes. We haven't changed that yet, but those classes can be taken at the undergraduate level, which makes it a little bit cheaper, more flexible. So those are the differences. We haven't changed the live program at all. That's still the same, but the online program we have changed. The required coursework has changed. But we have also changed. It's not really going to affect how fast it takes or how quick you're going to be until you're going to be done. But we used to offer courses every semester, and due to all kinds of constraints, we now offer each course only once a year. So depending on when you start, your schedule is going to look different. So everybody who starts in spring is going to have the same schedule, but if somebody starts in the fall, their sequence is going to be different. You're still going to get done in the 2 years though. So, and if you want to know more exactly what your schedule is going to look like, contact me and I can tell you when you're starting, if you're background or core, and how, which courses you're going to take when and how long it's going to take you to be done.
So yeah, this is also a question I get a lot with our MBA program. So if, say a student starts out in the live Mac program and they have to move out of the area for some reason, can they switch to the online Mac program?
Yes, and you can change your mind both ways. It's a little tricky and we don't want to advertise it a lot because it's can get complicated. If you have taken some courses already that might not be offered, and then you're missing some courses and we don't have them offered in the other mode, but we can make it work and we have made it work. So the only thing you have to be aware of is that one might be more expensive than the other, and it depends on where you're coming from. Out-of-state tuition, the online program doesn't have out-of-state tuition, but if you come as in-state tuition, a live program, you move to the online program, it's going to be more expensive. But if you can get it done quicker, why not? In the end, it might actually be cheaper. So yes, you can change your mind in both directions. We'll just have to sit down and work out a schedule that works for you and for us. By the way, how is that, since we talk about that, how is that for the MBA and the online MBA program?
Yeah, I would say same. It's definitely on a case-by-case basis. We kind of review each scenario specifically depending on the student's circumstances. It's possible, but like you said, it can be a little bit difficult. It does depend on how many classes they've taken and what can be used interchangeably between the two programs. So it all really depends, but we are happy to sit down with students individually to work through those cases.
Yeah, because in the end, we want you to get your degree and we want you to be able to graduate. So we can try to make it work. If there's any way to make it work, we'll work for that.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, same over here. So yeah, so what is the deadline for applications? So does the live Mac and online Mac have the same deadlines?
So there are official deadlines that are listed on a website. They're like, for example, for the spring, it's December 15 that's listed. We actually are flexible there. So it just needs to be in about 2 or 3 weeks before the semester starts, because the grad school needs some time to process everything and get everybody in the system. But that's it. We have a relatively small admissions committee, so we can work really fast on that. So if you need a little bit more time to get your reference letters done and stuff like that, yeah, it's fine. Might be good to reach out to us first to let us know that the application is coming, but yes. So for example, for spring, if you apply by let's say the first week of January, it's probably still okay, even though it says December 15.
Let's see. And then, yeah, okay. So if a student starts out in the MBA program and they want to transfer into the MAC program, how many courses can be transferred over, or can those courses be used interchangeably?
So yes, it actually, some people don't even want to switch. They want to just get a MAC in addition to the MBA, which we've done that before too. 3 courses can be transferred in. So even though on the website in the course schedule, it says there's only 2 non-accounting courses that non-accounting graduate courses in the program, we'll just make it 3. So then you can transfer in 3 courses, which means you just need 7 more for the 10 core MAC courses.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I think that's typically the same for all graduate programs on campus. You can interchange 3 courses and use those for a different program. Okay, and then who should be writing reference letters for these students that are applying?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and I'm sure you do too, right?
Yeah.
I always say just not family and friends. So
Yeah.
the professors are good. Your boss, your manager at work is good. Anything like that is fine. It doesn't if you can't find more than like 1 professional reference at the school that you were at, ask where you've been working, or even volunteering. If you volunteered somewhere, and we can ask those people too, just not family or friends. That's
Yeah.
pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, I typically tell students, we can use professional or academic letters of recommendation. Try to pick somebody that knows you well, who can attest to your work ethic and provide a good reference letter for you. So that's usually what I tell students for our MBA program.
Yeah, it seems like people are really scared to ask, which I feel like,
yeah,
I'm always happy to write a reference letter. It's really not a problem. So just you're going to be surprised how many people will be writing those letters for you. So don't worry about it.
And ask them early,
Yes.
them early, because sometimes those take time. So we want to give them enough time to write that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, so you do admit in fall, spring, and summer.
Yes,
Okay.
for both programs. Now for the live program, and sorry, I already switched over to the next slide, but yes, since there are both programs are listed right there at the top, the live program doesn't really have that many summer classes, but you can actually get started even though you're officially admitted to the fall. You can actually start in the summer taking classes if that's what you want. It's
okay.
A little bit different, but kind of the same idea. Yes, all 3 terms.
Okay, great, awesome.
So do you want to talk, since we just talked mostly about the accounting programs, do you want to talk a little bit more about the MBA and the EMBA and maybe some other programs we have at the College of Business?
Yeah, so I do mostly the MBA and our online executive MBA. So those, I would be the main point of contact if anyone has questions about those programs. But our in-person MBA program, we admit in both fall and spring semesters. Our deadlines are on our website, so you could probably go to that link there on the slide to find our application deadlines. Usually it's October 15th for spring semesters, and then March 15th for fall semesters. But it is it's 51 credits for the program. If you come into the program with a business background, what we can do is see if you took anything similar to our core classes in undergrad. And if you got a B or better in those classes, we can actually waive you from our graduate level core class. So you could have potentially 10 to 17 classes to take to complete the MBA program. If you have in-state tuition, that really helps, makes the program really affordable. And then I would say it's on average, students spend about 2 to 3 years in the program. It's also an evening-based program, so you can still work while you are in the program. So everything is after 5:30 p.m. Monday through Thursday. Our online executive MBA.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, what about the EMBA program? That's different, right?
Yes, very different. So it's not that it's just an online program, but this is an executive program. So the admissions requirements are slightly different for this one. You do need 5 years of work experience post undergrad. So that's kind of the main difference in the admissions criteria. I didn't mention this before, but we waived the GMAT and GRE for both programs. So for both our online and our in-person MBA, the GMAT GRE is waived. So that's another nice perk. But the online executive MBA, that one is a cohort-based program. We only admit in the fall semesters, and it is a 2-year program with 12 classes in total. So we do a fall, spring, summer term where you take 2 classes per term over the course of 2 years, and that's your 12 classes. So that one is much more structured, a little bit less flexible. It is online, entirely asynchronous, so you never have to meet at a certain time. You do complete all the work on your own time. And then we do also a few in-person networking events for our EMBA students as well. Those are, of course, optional, but we like to offer them in case the online students really do value that in-person interaction and networking piece. Which usually all of our online master's students are invited to our networking events. So we do try to include them in our networking events, so you're not missing out on any of those in-person interactions.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing and asking those questions. Hopefully our answers were helpful. And if you need any more information, here are the links to our websites for the MAC, the MBA, the EMBA. And again, if you have any more questions, you can shoot us an email, either Christy or myself, and we are happy to answer the questions or sit down with you, talk about all your options. And hopefully we'll see you in one of these programs sometime soon.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, Sonia.